Now, an Emeritus Newsbrief, I'm Lynn Houston. The White House Council of Economic Advisors laying it on the line with a new report on health care reform. President Obama brought congressional leaders to the White House to tell them about the report that 1/5 of the economy will be consumed by health care costs within the next 10 years unless reform is delivered now.
And one of the things I'm going to be discussing with the Health and the Finance Committees is how can we change incentive structures so that, for example, places like Mayo Clinic in Minnesota are able to provide some of the best health care services in the country at half or sometimes even less of the cost than some other areas where the quality is not as good. What we should be, and by the way, that's not just unique to Mayo. The Cleveland Clinic in Ohio, same thing. Top-notch quality, lower costs. What we've got to figure out is how do we create the incentives in terms of how we reimburse, how we deal with getting doctors to work together more effectively, how we're working on prevention and wellness so that we're driving down costs across the board.
The council report also shows the average family will have to shell out more than $10,000 out of pocket for their health care each year by the year 2030. The entire report on the Emeritus News healthcare page. Also on the Emeritus News healthcare page, a new report out showing worsening overcrowding in hospital emergency rooms. The report from the Government Accountability Office claims that shortages of inpatient beds are forcing patients to be kept longer in the emergency room. About 3,000 jobs may be saved as GM says it has sold its Hummer brand to a Chinese company. GM has now confirmed the company is Sichuan Tengzong Heavy Industrial Machinery of China. But GM says the Hummer will continue to be built by GM at their Shreveport, Louisiana factory, perhaps through 2011. More on the Emeritus News employment page. Congressional Budget Office Director Doug Elmendorf says the U.S. economy is still contracting rapidly, and he suggests federal officials speed up projects that are part of the Recovery Act to get more money into the economy faster. More on the Emeritus News business page. Also on the Emeritus News homepage, an Illinois company agrees to a $630,000 settlement in a race discrimination suit brought by the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission on behalf of black employees in a construction company. The latest on the biggest issues in public policy at emeritusnews.com and live on the Emeritus News channel 24/7 at livestream.com. That's an Emeritus News Brief. I'm Lynn Houston.